My name's Dirk Thompson Hunt. I have been a part of this community for every year of my entire 57. My family's done multiple businesses in this town, and what we've seen happen with the online threats from some employees in higher liens of our township, I sent to our superintendent just the other day, who is Tammy Klein. Tammy, it's stunning that we have seen zero public action on Mr. Dickerson's Facebook post to a current planning committee member who was a former candidate for supervisor, where he was insinuating that he was, quote, at our favoring water hole, end quote, I just want to be precise, with a gun to confront townspeople and attack them as, quote, Facebook warriors, end quote, and, quote, cowards, end quote, for not showing up to the bar where I don't know. I'm not part of whoever he was conversing with because we're individuals, not a group like some folks on the board like to attend. But he was with his hammerhead on his side. Black Swamp Location Services Principal Consultant Todd Dickerson has also sent township email to a third person that is clearly libelous. If you look up defamation, go to Wikipedia. Defamation has different routes, and libel is one of them. And I've had two attorneys tell me that what he did in a government email to another citizen, a third party, is libel. He is a contractor of ours. He is not employed, and he is not an elected official. Folks, can you understand how effed up this cabal trying to make their vision of our town into the future rather than ours? Why are these people doing such unacceptable behavior? And Tammy, it makes no sense to people in town except for our board. I hope you are aware of how outraged a huge portion of Iosco is with your apparent lack of action. And this is a question we have been trying to get for years now. When is the township going to be accountable and sever the $10,000 a month we are paying for his behavior? Now, I got to say, he's doing what he's being told by people like Tazier, Cummings, Woosterboth, Palmer. I'm calling them out. Just go look at the record, watch all the meetings, read all the agenda items. This alone, I'm talking about Todd Dickerson's threats, covered in the Iosco Press on the front page, violates Iosco employment agreements with employees, violates our handbook and our social media policy, which seems to change every year or two. If you recall, folks, Jamie McGuire, the treasurer, was accused of violating this policy after just posting some simple informational Facebook posts, and this gang of four board went after her. Back to my letter. I also want to make you aware that I do not think our clerk has read or is interpreting the state of Michigan's FOIA law correctly. He said he decided to charge me $200 for a copy of the board evaluation that was given to the township by a former superintendent when he departed. Because he knew this town was messed up. And that was genius. You're going to evaluate me. I'm going to evaluate you, and see you later. It can't be more than 10 pages. That's what I told Tammy. And not take more than 30 minutes to walk over to a shelf or fire up on a computer a copy of his evaluation of you people. By law, folks, if the clerk determines a FOIA request is for the benefit and interest of the public community, and who would say this is not? Is there anybody sane person that would say this isn't in our interest? The clerk has sole authority to waive the charge. Now, if they're going to charge, then they can only charge the lowest hourly wage of the people that are authorized to conduct the handling. It's very simple. If you go through the state of Michigan FOIA law, I've read through it at least 4 or 5 times, highlighted things, and that's a process that takes an hour or two. But if you're going to have a public official not take the time to understand clearly, or at least talk with the legal representation of the township, the clerk makes $25 an hour, his assistant 15. And the law says that you have to charge the lowest amount per hour on a FOIA request. And then you've got the minute cost of the copies. And if it's 10 pages, that should be, I don't know, 5 cents. But let's say it's $20 or $24. Now, let's break this down on my FOIA request for this evaluation. That is 13.333 hours of labor to find a simple multi-page evaluation. I don't know, folks. A lot of us Americans haven't paid attention to what goes in government. I have for all of my career. This is ridiculous. In all of my radio and TV and news investigations, I've never seen such an abuse of the FOIA law. I mean, I've done thousands of pages FOIAs and never seen things like this. The clerk attempted to charge me $6,000. Now, it was a very detailed and lengthy request, but it involved Mr. Dickerson's township communications with things that like mentioned me or other citizens that have been pointing out the violations this board is committing. Now, it was very detailed, would take a lot of time, but the people I consult with on FOIA requests said this should have cost $2,000 and not $6,000. Now, additionally, Mr. Dickerson has access to search the email system at the township. I've done these before. I know the system they're using. You put in some search terms, whatever the FOIA request is for, any mention of Dirk Thompson, any mention of Renovair, any mention of Fertile Field, and any information of Iosco Beach, any of that stuff. Literally, a highly detailed Boolean search would only take about 30 minutes to construct. So this is what happened, people. I sent in this very detailed FOIA request with keywords to use and pluses and minuses. What happened, according to email I received back of my FOIA request, the clerk gave that request to Mr. Dickerson himself, an outside consultant, to determine how long it's going to take him to go through all of his emails. It's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And I told Tammy Klein, the superintendent, I wanted a direct response to my question of when is an investigation going to be done or actions taken to resolve this issue. And I was kind. I said, please. But what Mr. Dickerson has also said in a third-party email on Government Township is clearly libel. And I told her that it's going to be resolved one way or another. But hopefully, you folks, see, at the Township Board, we've got some of the board are being intimidated by the other half. But this is all going to be solved and save us a lot of involved time, cost, and most importantly, the friction, specifically that Hammerhead's buddy, Mr. Taser, and Mr. Dickerson continue to cause in their time here in Oscoda. And I want a response within 5 business days, which was this past Wednesday, upon receipt of this email. Well, they put this on the agenda because that's what's happening Monday night, people. They're going to be talking about employee contractors' violations of libel. They're dummies, by the way, but don't tell their bigwig Farmington attorneys that if there's any inclination they might be sued for libel, shh, keep your mouth shut. Go ahead. And then I attached a copy of the email that he sent to a third-party citizen on Iosco Township.gov mail. I sent them a copy of his cyberbullying gun reference and the reply from Fat Bob. Oh, don't be mean and call me names. He's a current member of our planning commission, which he personally told me in a get-together, having dinner at a watering hole up in Harrisville. He told me the planning commission is the most powerful committee to get on. And Dirk, you should get on it. Quote unquote. Oh, yeah, that was an incredible conversation. I also included a copy of the definition of the libel portion of the defamation law. And then I sent him a section of this FOIA law for the state of Michigan regarding fees and handling charges and actions. And then the website links and references. Hey, you people, we've tried to be nice with you. You still haven't sold Fertile Field, though, in 4 years. It ain't going to happen. And you got to get rid and fire Todd Dickerson. I applied to be on, I don't know, I said any commission. They turned me down after people like Bob Taser told me, get on every commission, we need help. You can help move this town forward. I want to go forward. Yeah, I want to have tourism up. I want to have ecotourism up. I want to have industries in here. I want to have multi-rail. I want to see Amazon or another outfitter put in. We've got rail, train, airplanes, and we're going to have space delivery systems. Unbelievable. I want all of that. But I don't want to give away fertile field. Just stop with the field. You haven't done it yet, and you're not going to do it, but just keep it up. If you want all of this to go away, at least a lot of it, so we can get to an equal playing field and discuss where we're going to go with all of these economic issues, that's what an economic improvement person is supposed to do, not just sell off our shit.